Welcome everyone to the next training. These trainings are designed both for our dealers and also for the end user. I think it's very healthy whenever that relationship is authentic. And so I want to just take a moment and thank all our dealers across the country, the salesmen and women that put in endless hours of work to help sell and push our product. It means the world to me and our team here at 27 North. Also, the end user. Our clients from around the world, I just want to tell you thank you. Thank you from the bottom of my heart on behalf of our entire team here at 27 North for trusting us to be your sole provider of the ultimate expedition vehicles. Whether it's our van or trucks, they're designed and built with you in mind. And so let's dive right in. People often ask me, Pavel, how is it that you're able to sell products in the middle of a recession? If you read the articles out there, they're saying it's an RV bloodbath right now. And I start by telling people, first of all, we're not your traditional RV. Whenever you look at a recession, people like never before, they look at spec sheets, they look at reviews. And so what you had for the longest time, you had not salesmen and women, you had order takers. So these are people with little to no experience, and all they had to do is take orders because inventory is limited and the demand was high. But now when the demand is low and the supply is high and people are cutting prices, I mean, just look at some of these name brand units out there. You can get them for 50% off. I just tell you, be very cautious. A good deal is not defined by good price, it's defined by quality product. What does that tell you about the product if a dealer is able to sell it for 50% off? In the words of one of the top executives within the industry that I personally talked to, in his words, he said, it is a cardboard box within a chassis. And so just be cautious, be careful in what you're buying. Dive deep into reviews, go on the Facebook groups, the forums, and actually understand what you're buying. Secondly, what really sets our product apart is the customer support. The support that we provide is top notch. And like I mentioned in other videos, my cell phone number is in a business card given with every unit that's shipped out. And if our team can't handle an issue, and this has yet to happen, you guys have my cell phone number. And so you can call me directly, whether you're a sales rep or an end user, you can call me directly, and I'm always happy to help. I always say I'm not a professional in the sense that I'm perfect, but professionals aren't perfect people. They're ones that can make imperfect or problems resolved in a perfect way. And so I'll be the first to tell you, yes, we're not perfect, but we'll be the first there to support you and resolve whatever issue or question you might have during the entire process. The number one thing that I want to highlight in this training is a characteristic that is probably the most essential in order to succeed. I recently came across a study where they studied the effects of different characteristics in sales, and a question was asked by the speaker. I think it was a TEDx talk, and the question arose: what makes a salesperson successful? And people started answering, oh, you got to be charismatic, you got to be an extrovert, you got to have love, you have to be knowledgeable, you have to be funny. And all those are good characteristics, don't get me wrong, but it's not number one. There's one that is rated to be 7 times more powerful than love, and that's authenticity. And so if I can leave you with anything from this short training, be authentic. Whenever a client asks you, hey, looking at my ion battery pack, what is the discharge rate and what is the recharge rate? What is the fail rate? Don't make something up, but tell them, hey, that is a really good question. I don't have the answer to it, but let me contact the VP of sales. Let me contact the founder and CEO and ask him what the answers to those questions are. That will build your relationship. On the other hand, don't just tell them, I don't know, and try to change the subject. No. Clients want to be heard. Whenever someone's going to spend $300,000 or $500,000 or $1 million on a product, they want to know the technicalities, and they don't want to be just pushed off. Just think back to the last buying experience you had. Whenever you were a car dealer and you walk in, you buy a new car, and you ask them, a very specific question. How many liters or what kind of oil does this car take? Or what are some of the recalls? Oh, it doesn't have any recalls. Or, oh, don't worry about that. We'll be there for you. How does that make you feel? You got to be authentic. You got to treat it like Let me make an example. I would say treat it like your children. You'd never just tell your children off. You'd always want to get them the best answer, or your employees, or your staff, or someone you're mentoring. You got to have a very, very personalized and authentic relationship. And if I was to pinpoint one thing that helps me be the success that I have, I recently had some a prospect client drive from Florida to Canada, and they just wanted to stop by and meet me. And we had a 2-hour meeting that turned into a sale that we hand delivered to our dealer in Florida. If I was to ask them, or if I was to ask myself, hey, what helped you make that sale? I'd say just being authentic. I was open with them. I was honest. I told them our struggles. I told them our strengths. I told them our weaknesses, and I told them where we make up for those weaknesses. Don't hesitate to be authentic. I think genuinely authenticity is the new golden nugget to sales. You cannot be over authentic. I remember one time someone, it was one of our new dealers, asked me how I'm doing, and I was just honest. I'm like, hey, I've had a really stressful day. I'm feeling overwhelmed. One of my close family relatives is going through a divorce. I put a lot of time and effort in mentoring him, and it's just having a heavy toll on me. Completely changed the course of that conversation. He's like, man, I'm so sorry to hear that. We're gonna uphold you in our prayers. I'm not being, manipulative in it, or I'm not trying to have them feel sorry for me. No, I'm just being authentic. I'm being open. I'm being honest. And so I encourage you in the coming weeks to practice authenticity. The next time a prospect asks you how you're doing, don't tell them I'm fine. Don't tell them I'm okay. Be honest with them. If you're having a good day, say, hey, I just sold 2 units and I'm having an amazing day. I'm going to make double the commission this month, and I'm going to take the first vacation with my family this year. Imagine how that makes them feel. Be authentic. Practice authenticity in your life. Start with your coworkers, start with your boss, start with your friends, with your family. Same with the end user clients. If you're listening to this, be authentic with your sales team. Whenever they ask you, how you're doing, tell them, hey, we're frustrated. We've been ripped off. We've been taken advantage of, and we don't trust the dealer. Tell the dealers that you don't trust them. Tell the dealers that their service centers suck, that you've never had a good experience in a service center, because they can then take this feedback and they can practice authenticity with you, and they can say, wow, that is a really good concern you have. Here's 3 things we do differently from other dealers. And it really puts the dealer on the spotlight to answer your questions, to see whether or not they're a good fit for you. I do it with my dealers all the time. I say, what is your churn rate in your service center? What is the average time a client spending in your service center? What is the average time it takes to respond to a consumer? Are you guys available on weekends, after hours? Put your dealers on the spot. Ask your sales rep and men and women these questions. And what you get from this is you put all the cards on the table. Because too often, clients and dealers, they let these things pile up, and they kind of almost like, oh, it's not worth fighting. And then you get this long list of problems that's overwhelming, and you just lose it. And then things, escalate. If you look at, we recently ran a study on the industry and how many lawsuits manufacturers are facing, dealers are facing. Why let it escalate to that? Be open, be honest, share your frustrations, work through together with these problems before the sale, during the sale, and most importantly, after the sale. Some of your best referrals will come from those clients that you were most authentic with and took the most care of. Thank you so much for tuning in this week for this training session, and I hope that it's very beneficial both for all of our dealers out there as well as our consumers. Thank you for trusting in me, and thank you for trusting 27 North. God bless you, and good luck.